presented by Hilton. Get a price match guarantee when you book at Hilton.com. NBA Finals Game 3, Steph Curry going behind the back not once, twice before drilling the transition three.
Those soft rims at Oracle, shooters rims out there. Smart play by the game ops folks. I don't know that they're soft rims, but they've always appeared to be soft rims, so I'm speculating. Steph Curry gets the shooters bounce right there. 3 of his 47. You got nothing to say?
Oh, that was nice, man.
Okay. Quinn Cook thought he had an easy bucket, but Danny Green says you don't have an easy bucket.
Not like the chase down LeBron had, but this was a critical sequence. They were making championship plays, those extra plays, loose ball plays. This sequence, Danny Green swats one. Next time down the court, Serge Ibaka swats one into the stands.
Man, I thought we were watching Oklahoma City Thunder Serge Ibaka.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just defensive monster.
Kawhi trying to split the defense, sending it over to Fred VanVleet for the 3.
I don't care where you at. If you're in a shooting slump, go out and have yourself a baby. Make sure it's a boy, name him Fred Jr., because that's what happened to VanVleet ever since the birth of his son last week.
It's absolutely what happened.
On
he was
fire.
in the worst stretch of his career. His wife had his son, Fred Jr., and now he can't miss.
Check this out, Korean baseball. They say use your head and it pays off. Use your head and it pays off. They were right.
Listen, that shouldn't be an out. I'm just telling you, baseball.
It's an out.
Hey, somebody
Didn't touch the ground, it's an out.
I'm aware of how the rules work, Jenna.
Are you?
You might be okay with just accepting things as they are. I want things to always improve and get better.
That's why you're always angry.
It should be like if it hits the ground, hits the dude in the head.
Now, I didn't have a chance to see this before, so I'm just going to go out on the limb. Nick, somebody need to check that ball, man.
You think the ball's injured, not the head?
Man, that dude got a big head.
Oh, okay. Like our producer, Ryan Brumley, size 11.
But that's because he's smart.
Well, this fella might be smart. We don't know how smart he is.
He ain't too smart there. He can put his glove in front of it.
Okay.
Play a little in or out, boys?
Yes, I'd love to, Jenna.
Last night, Steph Curry scored a playoff career-high 47 points. It wasn't enough to beat the Raptors, though. Nick, you winner out on last night being the best game of Steph's career.
I do not think it has to be a win for it to be your best individual performance. I know Steph would never call this the best game of his career because they didn't win, but I am in. Against a great defense, as undermanned as he's ever been in a playoff game, the first playoff game he's ever played in without Klay Thompson next to him. He scores his career high in the playoffs, leads him in points, rebounds, assists, steals, minutes, is diving for loose balls with 2.5 minutes left, not giving up. I thought he was brilliant and sports-wise inspiring. For me, I am in. It's the best game I've ever seen Steph play.
A lot of times people ask me a question, Chris, what was the best game you ever played? And typically, I like to give them a game that we won in. And typically, as a wide receiver, because we're very, very selfish, it's typically not the best game. Steph Curry, this wasn't the best game for him, and they didn't win. 2017, game number 5, the closeout game there, that's the game that he was special in. Special from deep, but his ball distribution, 10 assists in that game, 34 points, shooting 50%. Go back and look at that game. Last night he was special, but go back and look at that game.
That was to win the championship.
And they won.
Yep.
So, all right.
And they won the title, final game.
Last night, Kyle Lowry made his mark on Game 3. Him too, see. He scored 23 points, which is more than he scored in the first 2 games of the finals combined. See, you went around on Kyle being the Raptors' second-best player behind Kawhi.
You know, I'm out. Man, I got to be out on that one. He's too inconsistent. I mean, sometimes he's the second best, and sometimes he's the third or fourth best. And you can't be the second best player and make the dumb mistakes that he makes. I mean, he makes some idiotic fouls.
You hate those fouls.
Worst position, and he's an all-NBA type defender. He's a heady point guard. This franchise goes as he goes. But no, man, I'm out, Nick. It's too inconsistent.
I think Siakam has been their second best player. I am also out. If the Raptors are going to win the championship, I think he's going to have to be their second best player the rest of the way. I think that he's going to, not because Siakam gets worse, because he maintains his Game 3 level of play at least a couple more times in the series and wins.
You got that right. Two more times
in
the 2 games they're going to win.
Right. Yeah. He needs to be able to duplicate this performance at least twice more for them to be able to win the series. If he does that, he will have been their second best player. But right now, I'm out. Siakam is, while Lowry's a very good defensive player, Siakam might be an even better defensive player. And games 1 and 3, Siakam's filled up the box score points-wise.
All right, we mentioned Steph Curry was the best player on the court last night. Despite Steph's best efforts, the Warriors were not able to win. Game 4 is set for Friday night, and Golden State is currently favored by 5.5 points. Nick, you in or out on Game 4 being a must-win for the Warriors?
Oh, I am absolutely in. You want to come back down from 3-1 in the finals? You got to have a guy on your team this team does not have, and that's LeBron James. You can't come back from 3-1 down against a team as good as Toronto. They're not, so absolutely they have to win. I think they will win Game 4, and I think they will win the series. But I don't like to abandon predictions. The Warriors lose Game 4, I'll be on here Monday having abandoned the prediction because they lose Game 4. I do not think they can win 3 games in a row against Toronto, who's played so well through 3 games.
Even though we don't think KD is going to be there, I got a little more apprehension. The sniper might come back, man. He might get one of those little Twitter sites or something, start hitting people and everything, be like, I'm coming back. He plays in Game 5, 6, and 7. I'm out because of KD.
You think they could come back from 3-1 down?
Yes, because of him. Absolutely.
That would be a crazy way for this
back
year to end.
3 straight games, then pack your bags, come to New York, man.
Z, can I ask you a quick question?
Go ahead.
In that scenario, if the Warriors lose Game 4, then KD comes back for Game 5, then wins Game 5, 6, 7.
No, he's not going to stay.
No, that's not what I was going to ask.
I got you. I know what you're talking about.
Can he win Finals MVP?
Got to give it to him.
Haven't played only 3 games.
I come back, you down.
That would be wild.
Yeah, you score 47, they lose.
That's a scenario.
Eat that, Nick, writing all your stat charts and everything. What's that thing I said the other day that you were doing and you said I said a word that wasn't a word?
You said that.
People text me said they understood what I was saying.
Unrefutable.
Yes.
And then I got angry because you were mocking my voice, which does not sound the way you say it sounds. And I said I didn't say that because it's not a word. The word's irrefutable. Eat that.
Oh boy. Perhaps the key to the entire finals is Klay Thompson's hamstring. Many expecting Klay will play in Game 4 since he tried to force his way into the lineup for Game 3. What about you, Chris Carter? You win or out on the Warriors needing Klay to have any chance Friday night?
I'm in. Gotta be. Absolutely. Klay is a great basketball player. And it's hard for us to evaluate the Warriors because of the totality of them. But individually, man, Klay is so special. His overall endurance, his overall mental toughness. Man, he's been able to bounce back from some bad injuries. Last year, we didn't think he was going to play. He bounced back against the Cavs. So, yes, he's going to give him that. Yes, I believe I'm in.
Yeah, listen, they've now played 9 games in these 3 years without KD and Klay, where they both missed. The 3 wins they have are against a Suns team that got the #1 pick, a Hawks team that got the #3 pick that year, and a Pelicans team this year that was tanking and Anthony Davis was essentially shelved. They cannot beat quality opponents with 2 of their top 3 guys down. We know they can win of Klay, Steph, KD with 1 of those guys out. 2 of those guys out, they cannot win. Steph went 47, 8, and 7 last night, and they lost by double digits. So I'm absolutely in that they have to have Klay for Game 4. I believe they will have Klay for Game 4, and I believe they will win Game 4.
Sounds good. Take a break. Coming up.
And that is unrefutable.
Will injuries be the biggest factor moving forward? Next on First Things First.
Prestige Grooming Lounge in upstate New York. They love your red dress. Nick, they said you need a little tidy on your haircut.
What is this?
Prestige Grooming Lounge, upstate New York.